All right, Gemini, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is going to be for the 28th of December through the 3rd of January. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to this type of astrology, do check the description down below because the signs are different. All right, Gemini, so not a whole lot going on this week astrologically, as you can see here in the transit graph, but I feel like an important week for you because it is involving your ruler, Mercury. So the key with this is to be patient. Mercury is going to be squaring up to Mars. Sometimes this can be a little bit of that touchy, irritable energy. Of course, this is very general and it's for everybody very vaguely, but your personal chart is the most important thing here. But at least on some level, it will be important for you to ground and be very patient with your own personal drives, your own personal ambitions or goals or whatever it is that you're really asserting or have been this week. And the key with this is, again, to see how you can ground and implement it in a very productive sort of sense. So this is involving particularly a Mars in your 4th house of home and family. Maybe there's been a lot of drive, a lot of assertiveness, wanting to take care of things, maybe with home, with family, with your past, with anything on the root sector of your life. So patience with that and, working on those areas could be, a key, as well as Mars, who also rules your 6th house. So maybe with your routine, your health, your diet, your work environment, and maybe even with anything involving communities or groups or friends this week. That extra attention can really go a long ways. Now, this is with you, your ruler here in your 7th house, representing one-to-one connections. So I think maybe there's been a lot of thinking or understanding about relationships lately. It's been a lot of focus here lately, in fact, too, with your sun. So especially with relationships, right? Extra attention there with the communication and the correspondence with those areas, I think, will be key with this. Now, what's important about this, too, is that your ruler's slowing down, and that's why it's dragging out this aspect so long. He's going to go retrograde next week. And so there is this shift, as there always is with these 3 retrogrades you guys get every year. So the key with this is that it's all about a pause, a sort of reflection for the next few weeks after this week. A good time to go within and kind of reflect, maybe redo, rethink some things. And with Mercury slowing down, it's a good time to just kind of slow down and kind of pause for a second, bring that extra attention again, specifically with relationships, because your 7th house is going to be the bulk of Mercury's retrograde. So there'll be a lot of reflection, I think, in regards to that. And this is also business dealings, business things, contracts, legal matters, anything else that does involve 2 parties. All right, so that's going to be the strongest energy for you guys in particular, but also on Tuesday, the sun does sextile up to Neptune. So the key with this is that while that's going on, it could also be quite easy going, in fact, with relationships, because your sun, again, is here sextiling up to Neptune. So this could be maybe with the more philosophical stuff, which is of that 9th house. It's been, on one level, there's been a lot of faith and trust needed in terms of your life path, especially with Saturn squaring up to Neptune lately. But this particular few days, this early part of the week, could be quite easy for going with the flow along the life path, at least on some level, and maybe connecting to nature and really tapping into the more expansive views of life, which can really lift things up in that regards. And that's really helping your communications, because the sun does rule your 3rd house. And that's where you've got Jupiter anyways expanding. So could be good these first few days, even though with that extra attention on communications, there is this level of easygoingness about them as well. So that's pretty much it. On Thursday, we do have Venus transitioning into Scorpio. So I think where maybe you've been enjoying or connecting to people with your interests, your hobbies, your self-expression in some sense, maybe just enjoying those areas of life. I think you can start to maybe enjoy a little bit more of the routine, maybe the work environment, with Venus going into your 6th now. And this is important because you've already got Saturn here helping you ground, and this is a very long-term energy in terms of everything you're building with your routine, with your health, in terms of your regiments, your diets, and your work, and your craft in many ways too. So now with Venus here, it can kind of lighten it up. You can see the enjoyments that can be had when we are in good health, and we do have good time and good energy available because we've been doing that sort of management of the 6th house. So that's the shift. I also want to bring to your attention too the lunar cycle, because this will probably bring more of an emphasis since we don't have a whole lot of aspects this week. And this is a lunar cycle that's been coming from that 6th house of your routine and work. So continuing to build that and work hard on it, especially because we are in the 3rd quarter phase. And any awareness you had about your goals and drives around this full moon last week, it's good to implement those as well. Any types of ambitions, anything relating to your appearance, your personal enjoyments in life, and pretty much anything involving the things that you're ambitious about. All right, so that's the week in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys all next week. Take care.